Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It's Thursday night and we're going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. We're here on a different night than usual. Usually we do Friday nights, but you know, I thought it'd be fun to kind of switch it up a little bit and start doing these on Thursday nights to kind of free up my Friday nights to go to art related type things. Like it always seems like there's some new gallery opening on Friday nights or tomorrow night there's like a live drawing session that I think might be kind of fun. So I'm going to try to go and see that. But yeah, so we're doing the Thursday thing now, which is great. And the other fun thing about tonight is apparently it's National Margarita Day. So I've got myself a very giant margarita here, and that's what I'm drinking tonight. So this is going to be fun if I don't spill it on myself. So yeah, it's going to be fun. This is going to be a great Thursday. I can see kids in here already. We got OK Larry, which is awesome. I'm going to jump right in. So you may be wondering what it is that we're working on tonight. That's a great question. So I thought tonight I might do one of my redemption rounds. I drew this German Shepherd sometime last year. I don't even remember when. And it's not the best German Shepherd out there. The composition's a little weird. It's like kind of small on the page and probably too much of the dog. I think this would look cool if like there was another figure in the picture, like maybe somebody hugging the dog or something like that. But by itself, it's kind of weird. It's not one of my best works, so I thought I'd try another German Shepherd, kind of like when we did the Collie the other day as a redemption round. I think the new Collie turned out really great compared to the old Collie, so I'm going to try to improve upon this German Shepherd. So that's what we're working on tonight. Hopefully you guys are into that. If you're not, that's okay. You can just hang out in the chat and make fun of my work that I'm doing. That's totally fine too. So I'm going to jump right in. So I got the old picture here. I got Geppetto holding up a picture of me, and I'm going to get started on this new picture of a German Shepherd while we hang out and chat. Oh, cool. We got Kid in the room. We got OK Larry. We got Huli in the room. This is gonna be fun. That's enough for a party. And again, hopefully you guys all have your margaritas because it is National Margarita Day. This is probably a little large, and this is actually my second margarita, so this is going to be a lot of fun. I do like margaritas. All right. So I should have done it like a Chihuahua for Margarita Day, but we're not going to do a Chihuahua. We're gonna redeem ourselves with a really awesome German Shepherd. I'm going to start with the eyes on this one just to knock those out of the way and make sure that we get something really solid to look at as we're going through the entire process. Hey, Kevin's back in the room. Cool. Hey, Kevin. Kevin is the proud owner of that owl picture I did in the coffee, or rather, somebody Kevin knows. There you go. Yeah, Huli's a little concerned about my drinking. Last stream I was on, I think it was like Tuesday. Yeah, it was definitely Tuesday. Um, I drink a little too much, so hopefully I don't do that tonight. It's all about the art, not about the drinking, guys. Although, you should combine the two. Yeah, I can tell already. So, like, the composition here is going to be more focused on the German Shepherd's face. Again, I am not happy with the composition here. Also, this one's in like black and white. When I was redoing the Collie, it's like a redemption artwork. It just felt right to make it in color, so I'm trying to do that as well for this German Shepherd. So I'm gonna outline the eyes here, and then I'm gonna add some color to the eyes, and kind of go from there, and see how it goes. Kevin, your dog is great. Did I say, like, hold on. Did I miss something about Kevin's dog? Maybe not. I don't know. Oh, yeah, thank you that on the compliment on the Wildcat. I wasn't sure how that one turned out, but in the morning when I looked at it, like I didn't know because I had drank so much that night. It's so weird. But yeah, I didn't know how well the Wildcat turned out until the next morning when I sobered up. But no, I agree. I think it turned out all right. Hey, Hater, how's it going? Yeah, so I hopefully you guys like this new Thursday format. I think it's better because like I mean, again, it just seems like the entire art world decides to do their functions on like uh, Fridays. So like we have a gallery hop in the area that's always on a Friday. Um, there's some events at the art museum in Cincinnati that I go to. Those are on Fridays. Um, the local like art center, I guess it would be considered. Again, they do things on Fridays. It's just so weird. So I think it's better this way. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty high. So that's the other thing. These eyes are so small, and I think the eyes are like the soul of the dog. So I think that I think this picture is just going to be better by zooming in on the face. That's my take on it. We'll see how it goes. Okay, Huli, that makes sense. Yeah, Kevin's got some really pretty dogs. One of these days, I'll talk him into like sending me some pictures so that I can draw them. I don't know what kind of dogs he's got now, but like he had a really nice Jack Russell. He probably told me what kind of dogs he's got. I just don't remember offhand. But yeah, Kevin's my dude. All right, so get that started, and then I want to kind of get some color in these eyes real quick and kind of blend that in. Again, I think this will be a nice start as we go into the rest of the picture. It's all about that redemption. Like it doesn't matter how good this picture turns out, as long as it's better than this one. That's how these things go. And I really like this series. Like it's a it's just something I thought of, because like this is my second year of doing pictures. I started in 2023. Here it is, 2024, and I've amassed quite a few pictures. I've got a bunch on the wall back here. I've got some in drawers. They're all over the place, and some of them I'm happy with. Some of them I'm not. The ones that I'm not happy with, this gives me the opportunity to go back and kind of revisit it. Some of them, the nights that I was working on them, I just wasn't in the spirit or something. I don't know. Like maybe I was busy or something, and I just kind of like brushed through it. I never, I never go into like drawing a picture wanting to create a bad picture. It's just sometimes it happens. And it's not like I planned for it. I like even this picture. I don't know. Maybe this picture will turn out like garbage. I don't think so, but you never really know. Like I don't know what convinced me that this would be a good composition. Like this is just such a weird. I don't know. I probably went off and was drawing it freehand and just kind of like lost track of the perspective and proportions and so on, which happens. And that's something I'm working on. That's actually the thing I'm looking forward to tomorrow if I get to go. I haven't completely convinced myself that I'm going, but I'm a little nervous actually, to be honest. I've never been to like a live drawing session, and this is like a figure drawing session, which I don't do a lot of figure drawing. So I'm not nervous because like it's not like a nude session. Like people are gonna be clothed and stuff like that. So there's nothing weird about that. It's just I just don't do a lot of figures, and I do drawings in public, like on YouTube, but that's a totally different thing than actually being there in public doing drawings. So I think I'm gonna do it just to force myself to like get out of my comfort zone, but it's gonna be a weird experience for me. So anyway, that's tomorrow night. That's what I'm doing. I think it'll be fun. I think that'll be neat. We'll see how it goes. I have just received a notification for your live stream. I am actually driving. Yeah, you shouldn't be watching this while driving. You can wait until you get home. And all of these things are recorded. I tell people like, look, if you've got other things going on in life, I respect that. Like you don't have to feel like you have to watch this stuff live. I mean, it's great when you do watch it live because then we have, conversations and stuff like that, and I can hang out with you guys and all of that stuff, but don't feel obligated to. My email address is on the channel page. So like you know, if you ever just want to talk to me or something, you don't have to watch this. You can just reach out to me, send me an email or something like that. I don't mind. Um, I'm not very good at responding to emails in a timely fashion, so give me a little bit of time to get back with you. I'll eventually get back with you. It's just I've got so many emails, they just pile up and stuff like that. So the trick to drawing, so this is a combination, I should probably mention what I'm doing here. This is a combination of charcoal and pastels. So it's all dry medium. It's not colored pencils, even though it, you know, you could do this in colored pencil as well. But the first step is that I just want to get down like a lot of shapes. Um, One of the cool things about German Shepherds is that they have these very distinctive marks, and you know, you can get those shapes in pretty quickly. It's not like you're drawing individual pieces of fur. You're really just drawing these like these patches of colored fur. So you're drawing the colors, not the individual fur pieces. And then what's cool about pastels and charcoal is you can kind of blend these things out pretty well. So my strategy here is I'm going to get all of these shapes in on the face, hopefully fairly quickly. I don't know. I always think it's going to go quicker than it does. It always seems to like take a little bit longer. But I'm trying to get all these shapes in. We're going to blend it out, and then we're going to come back and try to get some detail in there. So that's my strategy. And I think that will end up looking better than this. That's my goal. I am kind of curious, guys. I, you know, I like sometimes I come up with ideas for these shows, but I think it'd be kind of cool, like if there's a picture that you guys have seen me do that you didn't think was my best, it's not going to hurt my feelings. I know that, like, you know, not all of these things are masterful works of art, especially ones that I did last year. I would like to know, and maybe you guys can drop a comment or something in this video, like come back to it after you've given it some thought, or feel free to drop some comments in the live chat as well. But I would like to know what picture I've done in the past, or what type of picture, or what type of animal maybe, you guys thought that, yeah, I could probably do better. I think that would be kind of cool. Like if you guys could like let me know, and we'll do like another one of these like redemption streams. I just like the idea of these redemption streams, just because, like, I don't know, I've got a lot of artwork that sucks. And I do like second chances. I believe in second chances in life. Like, it doesn't matter, you know, if you fail, just try again. You know, there's no permanent failure in life. There's always the opportunity to try again and progress as individuals. You know, and that probably applies to like everything in life, but certainly applies to art. If you do a picture that just kind of sucks or whatever, just do another picture. So yeah, I mean, if you guys can think of a picture, you know, if you don't, that's fine. Oh, cool, hater. Yeah, listen, don't watch. You don't need to watch this one. This is the gigantic margarita, and it's my second one. But it is National Margarita Day, so what can I say? Gotta drink them. It's so good too. I forget where I got. I think it was the Kroger liquor store. I got this margarita mix. I don't remember the brand or whatever, but it's actually really good. I was thinking I might mix my own margarita mix, but nah, I'm just using the store-bought kind. Don't ask me the brand. I don't know. How about three chances? Well, you know, if this picture doesn't turn out well, which I guess is possible, we might have to go for the third chance on the redemption round. I think it'll turn out fine though. All right, so I just wanted to get some of this dark area in here. The next thing I want to do is kind of get some of these. It's a little bit brown. It's a little bit orange. Just kind of get these areas in here. Like I said, I'm not going too far for detail at this point. I'm just trying to get some basic shapes in. Hey, Packer, how's it going, man? Hey, Richard. Got MJ in the house. Got a stacked house. I like these Thursday nights. I was a little bit concerned that like maybe not as many people might show up just because it's a different night, but you know, I don't know. Different people have different nights that they're available. I should really do like every night so that I make sure that everybody gets a chance to hop in. All right, so anyway, now that I've got some of these colors in here, I'm just going to kind of blend it out. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'll come back and add some marks to kind of give some detail later. I just want to blend in some of these shapes so that they're here. I'm using this blending stump just because it's kind of some small areas. I could use my fingers or, you know, there's a bunch of things that people use to blend with. Maybe I should do a video about that sometime. I don't know. I feel like that's been kind of beat into the ground as far as like how to blend pastels, but what I like to do is I like to blend even when I'm doing my charcoal pictures. I I just did a charcoal portrait yesterday just for fun. Um, you can watch that one. It's kind of like a speed kind of work or something like that. But it's always the same. I like to put down pigment and then blend it out so that it's got this kind of soft focus to it, and then come back and add some detail over that. And I think that works. I think that's a good um, technique, I guess they call it. I don't know what the terms are, but let's call it a technique. It's a good technique. And then you get this kind of like soft, realistic fur kind of look to it. Packer Jack in the house. We got, oh, Q's in the house. Cool. Man, this is a party. We got Rome Dog in the house. See, you guys are all here for margarita night. I know what's going on. Um, so I made this margarita, but I don't always make margarita. There is there's a canned margarita that I really like. I forget the name brand of it, but it's like Limerita or something like that. I don't know. You can get it in a can like where they sell like beer, and it actually tastes really good. I can get like a whole case of those and just and I'll just be out for an entire weekend drinking those. These are Rembrandt pastels, by the way. They're really nice. Like if I ever had a brand that I would recommend when it comes to pastels, I do like the Rembrandts. That said, they're not a sponsor, so maybe one day they'll come in here and sponsor me. Hey, art manufacturer people, like art supplies people, if you ever want to just get a shout out or something, feel free to send me art supplies. Like I said, my email is on the about thing. I'll plug your stuff. Like, send me free art supplies. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a nice review. My understanding is people do that on YouTube. I can do that. I can talk about your supplies. If you're Rembrandt, definitely send me some pastels because I love your pastels. I will hype up your pastels to no end. To anybody who wants to hear it. Hey guys, have you tried the Rembrandt pastels? They're amazing. Oh, kids going to go see the grandkids this weekend. Cool. MJ asks, Jeremy, do you draw every day and do you ever do oil paintings? I do try to draw every day. There are some days that I miss drawing. Um, Oil painting is something that I really, really want to try. I haven't done it, and the reason why is because I need to do the research. I need to learn how to clean your brushes and how to thin out your paints and all those extra things. Like as far as like actually painting with oil painting or oil paints, I think I can probably kludge my way through that. I think I can probably figure that out. It's all the extra stuff. Like how do you actually you know, clean your brushes? How do you thin your paints? How do you you know, like how do you let it dry? And when it's done drying, what do you do? Like I think there's like a lot of extra stuff you have to know when it comes to oil painting. Um, but otherwise, yeah, I would love to try that. I really would. I have some oil paints that I've just been too scared to open up, um, just because I don't know all that other stuff that you need to know. But that's a great question. I appreciate it. As far as the drawing though goes, yeah, I do draw every day. Not all of it makes it up on this channel, because not all of it's like a finished piece, or some of it's just doodling or whatever. Um, Whenever I'm actually in a meeting talking to somebody, I'm doodling while I'm doing it. I'm only half paying attention to you when you talk. On the side, I'm actually like making sketches and stuff like that. But I do pay enough attention. Like those who know me know that I'm actually a pretty dedicated worker. But also, I do use drawing as a means of focusing. Hey, everybody. Kid says I love oil paint by number back in the day. Paint by numbers, man. That whoever thought that up, that's freaking genius. Like paint by number, like there's nothing embarrassing about paint by number. I used to do that a little bit when I was a kid. The oil painting, again, I've got some oil paints here, and I remember a little bit, I remember the basics just because, like, I watched Bob Ross. I mean, who didn't? Everybody watched Bob Ross, and his stuff was exclusively oil paint. So he got into some of that stuff, and, you know, I get the gist of it. I just, I need like a refresher course on like oil painting. As far as actually painting with oil painting, I think that I would enjoy that. The Alla Primo, Alla Prima, maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong, but the whole wet on wet kind of style of painting with oil paints, that seems like that's right up my alley. That seems like something I would really enjoy doing. So it's in the cards. It's something that I'll probably try on here before too long. It's just something that's a little bit more involved. Acrylic paints, they're really easy. You take out some acrylics, you got water. That's how you clean your brushes. It's not a big deal. Um, you want to thin something out, you apply water to it. The only problem with acrylics is that they dry so fast. So like yeah, so like I'm trying to do more acrylic painting, but even there, it's like it dries so fast. It's tough to like actually work with for me, because you're racing that clock. There are ways to keep your paints from not drying so quick. Like there's some kind of glycerin or something that you can add to it so that it doesn't dry so quickly. I've tried some of that, but also, I mean, I'm happy with gouache. Like gouache does just as good as acrylics or oil paints or whatever. And the great thing about it is it reactivates with water. Like you can have gouache sit out for a few days and then come back in and just add some water to it and you're good to go. So like if I had a preference at this moment, I would say gouache is my favorite to paint with. But that's just because it's just a matter of convenience. Let's see, what did I miss in here? Sometimes I get off on a tangent and I forget to check the chat. Kid says, I like the smell of oil paint. I love the smell of paint. I love the smell of paper. I love the smell of art supplies. I love going into a bookstore and just smelling paper, ink, like, and, used in the printing of the books and stuff like that. I love all that stuff. It is one of the reasons why I'm a traditional artist, like almost exclusively, even though I could do digital. I just love the smell of all this stuff. Like even the smell of charcoal. Like I love the smell of paper. I love the smell of paint. It's all good stuff. Not like huffing paint or anything like that. Uh, Even though I do have like some sealants and stuff, spray on sealants and everything. That stuff definitely has an odor to it. I don't like that so much, but we're starting to get a face here. This is looking pretty cool. I think that this is going to turn out way better than this one. Q asks, what did we end up naming the stickman? I didn't name him. I turned it over to the audience. We had a poll, and we had a couple of options in there. I forget what all the other options were, but the community themselves settled on Geppetto. So Stickman is now named Geppetto, and I think he likes the name, or he hasn't complained at least. Now, some of this stuff isn't as dark as I want it to be, just because it's like a first pass, but it's good to start with, just to get all these shapes in here, just so that we know where things are. And then we can come back and refine them, you know. That's how these things usually go. Some more of this stuff up in here. I like working with this soft stick pastel because it just kind of lays down really easily, and then it's so blendable. Like I can just come in here and just, you know, do that kind of stuff. So, salty as the sea. Salty as my margarita. I like participating in national whatever days. I don't even care what it is. It's just an excuse, you know, like National Coffee Day. I'm just going to drink some coffee. National Margarita Day. I'm going to drink some margaritas. It's just like a dumb little thing to participate in, but I like it. Plus, I do like margaritas, so maybe it's not so dumb. So usually on the Friday streams, I ask you guys like, how'd your week go? What you looking forward to this weekend? I guess we can still do those on Thursdays, even though you guys don't really know, um, or you're not locked into the weekend yet. There's like, it's not just like Thursday though; it's Thursday night. So like, you're already getting ready for the weekend. Like, it's practically Friday. Because like when you guys go to bed and you wake up tomorrow and you head off to work, it's going to be a Friday. So this is just starting your Friday off. There you go. This is a pre-party for your weekend. You know, when you wake up in the morning, you say, "Yay, it's Friday, happy dance and everything." This is what eases you into that. This is the pre-happy dance. I like it. Yeah, we're the pre-game show for your Friday. See, Larry came up with Geppetto. Yeah, I think so. Cool. Pekka Jack says Geppetto was one, Lee Rocio was two, and Geppetto was three. I don't think that's accurate, but there was a couple of options in there. I forget what they were. It's a couple of streams back, so like I don't know. You guys can probably find it if you're that interested. If you're that interested, that's weird. But to each their own. If you want to be weird, go be weird. All right, so I think in there. Let's get some of this color going. I don't want to get too crazy on the ears just yet, because like a lot of this is just going to be dark. So I'm just going to kind of roughen this ear real quick. Then we can come back and worry about it later. It's not really my main concern. Main concern is getting the face in here. And then like I got to get this tongue in here at some point, just because I don't know how that tongue's going. I don't know what color to make that tongue, to be honest. It's close to a full moon. Oh, that's another interest of mine. I like stargazing. I got a telescope a few years back for like my birthday or whatever, and it's a lot of fun, especially during the summertime. I go out. I like to kind of keep track on apps of like celestial events, like if there's a comet or maybe like a planet's in line somewhere or something like that. I'll go out and take a look at that. It's a lot of fun. It's it's tough to line that kind of stuff up in your telescope, or at least maybe it is just for me. Oh, you know what I'm looking forward to this year? I don't know if you guys remember or not, or like have heard about this or not. You have like a full-on eclipse like what we had. What year was that? I want to say 2017, 2018, something like that. You have a full-on eclipse coming this year for much of the United States. Um, if you happen to be in Kentucky, you're going to get a really good view of that. And I've got like a cool setup for that. Like my telescope has like an attachment I made for it during the last eclipse where I can kind of track the sun, and it's so good because you can actually see the sunspots on it. It's so cool. Maybe I'll share that because that's kind of art related. I kind of made that from scratch. I try to keep this all art focused. There's a lot of stuff that I could share, but like I only want to kind of share stuff that you guys would be interested in from like an art perspective. Like I do a lot of programming, and I thought about maybe sharing that kind of stuff, but I thought that maybe you guys might think that's kind of boring. I don't know. I want to share things that you guys might be interested in. There you go. Starting the weekend tomorrow with lunch at Lake Chalon. Chalon. I'm gonna say Chalon with my besties. How about you all? I am hanging out with my friends tomorrow for lunch as well. If Kevin's still in the room, I'm going to lunch with him and a couple of other people, getting some more tacos, maybe some more margaritas. It's going to be fun. That's a good kickoff to the weekend, in my opinion. Trying to think what else is going on this weekend. I don't know. I don't. That's one of the drawbacks. I check all that stuff on Friday. Like I don't really know what's coming up this weekend. I know there's a few art related things that I'm probably going to go and try to do. I don't know. I don't think there's any movies. The next movie I want to see, and I don't think that's coming out this weekend, is Dune 2. Maybe that comes out this weekend. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up. Whenever Dune 2 comes out, that I'm definitely gonna be there for that. And then I'm really looking forward to like Deadpool coming out like later this summer. I think that's going to be awesome. Those are the uh those are the movies I'm looking forward to. We also have a Comic-Con coming up in March, and I volunteered for that, so I'm gonna go and participate in that. And I like volunteering for Comic Cons. I don't know if I mentioned that. I did it last year, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm doing it this year again, just because I think there's a good shot of getting paired up with like a celebrity to kind of like pal around with the celebrity over the weekend. So that'll be kind of cool. If that happens, I'll let you guys know who I'm paired up with. But the way the Comic Cons work is the volunteers at Comic Cons kind of like get thrown into the like celebrity room, and you're like basically a gopher. If they need water, you go and fetch them water. If they need whatever they need, you're just like an assistant or something like that. But you get to be like the assistant for the celebrity over the weekend. Or you can get like a shit job. Like they could put you in like I don't know, like crowd control or something like that. But usually if you volunteer enough, they usually give you the good jobs. So last year there was a couple of celebrities there that I thought were cool. Like I don't know if you guys remember Sean Patrick Flannery. He played young Indiana Jones, and he was in a couple movies or something like that. I got to hang out with him for a little bit, and then um, crap, what's his name? There's the artist who did the GI Joe comics. I got to meet him for a little bit, and then there was a couple of other people there. I don't remember all the celebrities, but that's what's cool about volunteering for Comic Con. So I signed up to volunteer for that. I think it'll be fun. Clips 2017. Thank you, kid. I was trying to remember when that was. Yeah, that was awesome. Like it was pretty good in my backyard. I could have traveled further south. I think that a lot of people went down to like Tennessee or like southern Kentucky for that. I could have gone further down and gotten a better view, but it was pretty good in my backyard. Um, Maybe I'll share the pictures from that because what I did is I had a telescope pointing at the sun, and then I had like this contraption that I built where I had like a funnel, like a plastic funnel, like what you would use to put oil in your car, coming off the back of it, and then around that I had like a shower curtain, so that the sun would come through the telescope and then reflect on the shower curtain, and I had a perfect clear view of the sun. Um, so good that you could see the spots on the sun, like the sunspots and everything. And it was perfect for the eclipse. I'm gonna have to share pictures of that. It turned out really well, and I'm gonna try that again this year. I think this year the eclipse is going to be so close in our path that I'm not even going to have to travel for it. If I have to travel for it, it may be like an hour away or something like that. But I am super looking forward to that. I think it's going to be great. And anybody who lives in like, I don't know, you can look up the pathway of it online, but I think it's mostly like through the central part of the United States, central south, something like that. I don't know. Um, Man, I've just been talking off. Like, what are you guys actually chatting about in here? Oh, I'm talking about like don't mind nerd stuff. Good. There's a lot of nerd stuff on this channel. Rome. Hopefully, hopefully people are okay with the nerdy stuff because like that's all I know. All I know is nerdy stuff. It's the only stuff I'm interested in. Um, I don't really follow the sports or anything like that. Um, I don't know what other people are into, but definitely when it comes to nerdy stuff, I do try to keep track of that. So like, I don't know, comic book stuff, movies, sci-fi, all that stuff. I know that stuff, or I try to know that stuff. It's just entertaining to me. This dog's looking pretty rough, guys, but it'll get there. 2024 is Texas to Maine. Thank you, Kevin. So yeah, so basically across the central part of the United States, heading from southwest up to northeast. I think, that'd be a road trip just following it. That'd be cool. Like, you probably can't follow it as fast as it's going, but that'd be kind of neat. Like sun chasing. Is that a thing? Do people do that? I mean, how fast does it move across that area? That'd be kind of cool if you like, that'd be kind of cool if you, man, this would take some thinking and some plotting, right? But like, say you worked out a flight that took you from Texas to Maine. So like you went down to Dallas, for example, and you caught a flight that takes you up to like, I don't know, like Portland, Maine? Is that a place that has an airport? Anyway, so say you worked out where you can get on a plane in Texas and travel to Maine. Would it follow the sun like at that speed so that you're perpetually during that time in the eclipse? That would be awesome. If somebody could work that, some smart person could probably work that out. There's oh, NASA chase planes. There we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, I'd like to know more information about that. NASA chase planes. Yeah, they probably chase like I don't know, like storms and stuff as well. That makes sense. Yeah, I like NASA stuff. So anyway, that was just so much fun during 2017 that like I really want to do that again. It was such a big deal. Like everybody made a big deal out of it. I remember the place I worked at, they had like a big party for it. It's like, I don't know, it's like how you imagine like how the end of the world would go. Like if people knew that the end of the world was coming, like like say there was an asteroid or something heading straight for the Earth, that was like the size of like the one in Armageddon or something like that. People would have parties. And I felt like that's what they did during the eclipse is they had those type of parties. I mean, not as depressing as that would probably be, but they had parties, watch parties and stuff like that. I think that's something to look forward to this summer. I think it's going to be kind of cool. I don't know what MJ and Richard's talking about, but yeah. So I do wish there was some like I don't feel like there's been any movies come out that I've been looking forward to in quite some time, which is kind of disappointing. I think the next thing coming up that I'm looking forward to, well, the next thing I'm looking forward to coming up is I would find out early March whether or not I got accepted to do the Maker's Mark bottle decoration. So that'd be cool, kind of cool. That's something to look forward to. And then right after that is like the Comic Con bit. So that's something I'm looking forward to. I mean, it's kind of lame, like, volunteering for Comic Con when you can just like, I mean, I can afford to buy a ticket, even though the tickets are freaking crazy. The freaking tickets are like, I don't know, like 50 to, it might be like 60 or more nowadays, but yeah, tickets for Comic Con are not cheap. But anyway, I would volunteer anyway, just because it's a fun experience. You get paired up with people and you get to see the kind of behind the scenes stuff. And then, like, from an art perspective, I was actually seriously considering maybe doing some art for Comic Con this year. And, it is kind of cool, like, if you get paired up with an artist to kind of see the behind the scenes stuff on how these Comic Cons work. So, and Eclipse travels at Mach 1.4. Okay, so that's not your standard commercial flight. So, if you hopped on a plane and tried to chase the Eclipse, you're probably going to die from, like, I don't know, like G forces or something like that. Santa Claus could follow that eclipse. I don't think that normal people could. That's why it's the NASA people who have the tracker planes. That'd be cool though. Mach 1.4. I don't even know what, like, I have no point of reference on, like, that sounds super fast and like but I have no point of reference on what that means, like Mach 1.4. To me, it's like that scene in Spaceballs where they're like, it's ludicrous speed, right? Like, I don't know what 1.4 is. Mach 1.4 is ludicrous speed. It sounds really fast. I love working on this part of the dog, by the way. So the eyes are really what brings out the soul of the dog, but also the mouth. The mouth is really where the expression comes from. And, again, I have to go over this several times to get all the values in there that I need to get in there, but also just getting this much of it in there just brings this dog to life. Not just this dog, but like any dog that I have to get. My dogs are kind of perking up every time I say dog. They're like, "There's a dog? Where's the dog at? Is the dog out in the yard?" 1,000 miles per hour. Geez, that is fast. That is ludicrous speed. What was the what scene was that? I think that was in Spaceballs too. It's like, we can't go back. It's too dangerous. Maybe that was a different movie. I don't know, but that's always stuck out in my head. Like whenever somebody says we can go back, we can't go back. Oh, thanks, Richard. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, Larry says, I thought the end of the world was starting this morning. My phone didn't start working until about noon. Yeah, like I definitely get that. Like without my phone, it definitely feels like the end of the world. Um, I don't know what I would do without my phone. I lost my phone one year when I was going to a conference, and I had to go to a conference like with basically a borrowed phone. It was the worst. It's the worst experience. I feel like really like every time I go out and I forget my phone or something, I just feel weird. That's where we're at nowadays, guys. The phone is like an appendage. All right, so I'm gonna leave that sit for a minute. It's not like it has to dry or anything, but 621 kilometers for you Brits. There are a couple of Brits in here. All right, so hopefully I can get the right colors out of this pink here in the tongue. I don't know. A lot of it's white. And then up through here it kind of gets a little dark, but I think I can figure this out. This side over here seems to have a lot more color to it. So yeah, I hope you guys what's cool about like doing these Thursday streams is I can wish you guys a happy Friday. That's kind of cool. Like before I could just say have a good weekend, but now I get to wish you guys a happy Friday, so I'm pretty happy with that. I think this is going to work out. just because like I'll be able to go out and do more things that I can report back on. I just know that like I don't know, there's been a couple of these Friday type things that go on where I'm like, I promised I would do my stream, so I'm gonna have to skip that. Mostly it's those gallery hops. Like I really enjoy going to those gallery hops because you get to see like what some of the other artists in town are doing. And I'm not like a huge sociable person, so it's like I don't know any of these artists like personally, but also I do kind of keep track of some of them. I like some of them I do know, and actually some I take that back. Some of them I do know. Like I actually have some friends that are artists, and I do want to see what they're up to and stuff. So like the whole gallery hop thing is actually fun. Um, Jeremy must be drawing his dog. Now, this isn't my dog, although it does kind of similar, it looks similar to my dog. My dog has a little bit of German Shepherd in her, but I appreciate the compliment. All right, let me smooth some of this out so that it doesn't look so rough. Even though, you know, it is fur, it's supposed to look a little rough. Again, that my process is I like to get this like soft underlayer that I can add on top of. That's the idea. So like a lot of this stuff, it looks sketchy and rough and all of that stuff. I want to smooth it out and kind of like provide this sort of like underlayer that I can build up with some additional lines that look more like actual rendered fur. I don't know if it's a proper term, but I call this rendering, and I do think that that's actually a term that people use a lot, but um, you're kind of like rendering some of the fur here, and then you'll make it like another pass where you render even more. And the idea is that this soft focus kind of like makes it look a little bit more realistic when you come back over it with you know, more marks. You need basically I mean, this is just generally speaking, but I'll say it anyway. You need basically like three layers in order to create believable fur. I'm not even going to say like realistic fur because like I never shoot for like photorealism or anything like that. That's definitely somebody else's art. I don't have the patience to render like photorealism, and I don't even know if I like photorealism. I like the idea of like leaving it a little bit loose, and that's kind of like more of the style I go for. But you'd still want a little bit of it, like or even if you're doing like representational art or something like that, you're still wanting it to be somewhat realistic, believable. I like the term believable. In fact, I tend to ignore the term realistic and go for like a believable dog, a believable coat of fur, a believable ear, or whatever it is, so to create a believable coat of fur, you need at least three layers. One is, the underlayer. Um, Above that, you add like some more detail and so on, and then you come back and you maybe add some highlights or some finishing details. But yeah, it's about three layers. You can get crazier with it, but I would say that's the minimum. Yeah. But just like blending it out, I mean, the nose becomes a little bit softer. It starts to get some texture in there. It's just, it's all good stuff. There's no downsides to this part of the process. Um, one fifth of the way, maybe. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that, kid. I really enjoy doing the eyes, and it really doesn't matter what I'm drawing. I think I said it on my first couple of streams, and I've stuck to it. If you get the eyes right, you know, people will forgive you on some of the other stuff, but you have to get the eyes right, no matter what you're doing a picture of. If you're doing a portrait of somebody's dog, got to get the eyes right. If you're doing a portrait of somebody's girlfriend or, parent or whatever, they'll forgive a lot, but you got to get those eyes right. You know, if you get the eyes right, that's like 90% of your job as an artist. I'm making this up, but it sounds right. It sounds good to me. It's probably true. The eyes are so important. Man, that thing I'm going to tomorrow, it scares the hell out of me, to be honest with you guys, because like I mean it doesn't really scare me. There's no like consequences or stakes or anything like that. It's just in my mind there are, you know, like in my mind, I do want to be the type of artist that goes and draws people in person, right? You know, live artists, not working for, so like right here, I'm looking at a picture of a dog on my computer, and that's what I'm working off of. Um, I want to be the type of person that just draws somebody who's sitting across from me. And in particular, I want to be able to do like portrait drawings, but also, yeah, I kind of do want to be able to do like figure drawings. I want to be able to walk into a bar or a coffee shop and sit down and draw people while they're up at the counter ordering a cup of coffee or something like that. That's the kind of art I want to do. I want to be the man on the street drawing people and stuff. So this is like my first time out trying to do that kind of thing, and it's like I don't know why. Like in my head, it's built up to this like really dramatic thing. It's probably I'm definitely going. I think I need to do this just for my own peace of mind. But I'm probably going to go and be bored. You know, it's probably going to be dumb. But in my mind, it's like this spectacular type of event. But I'll definitely let you guys know how it went. I don't know if they're going to like let me. I would like to be able to videotape some of this stuff. I don't think I'm going to be able to. But I'll definitely show you like whatever sketches or whatever I come up with. I think that'll be kind of cool. But that's just it. I've never gone to one, so I don't really know what to expect. You know, like it's supposed to be figure drawing, right? And they did say it's family friendly, you know, everybody's clothed. So in my mind, I'm like, am I drawing clothing? Am I drawing like are these people wearing like robes? Are they wearing like I don't know, like form-fitting clothing so they're still like figure drawing? I don't know. I have no idea. No idea what to expect. As you can see, I'm a little neurotic. You know, I start thinking about things and I wouldn't say I obsess about them too much, but yeah, I probably do overthink them. I'm way too analytical, worrying about things and stuff like that. But again, like I said, I'll probably go and it'll be dumb and it'll be boring and stuff like that, but we'll see. I like new experiences. I like challenging myself and forcing myself to do things that are out of my comfort zone. And I would definitely characterize this as out of my comfort zone. Just because it is doing something that I want to do, so there are some stakes to it. They're just completely stakes that I've made up in my own mind, but there are stakes to it. And it's not like there's a lot writing on it, but in my mind there is, because like if I don't do well, then I'm like, well, maybe I need to rethink this goal of mine or something. So from that point of view, I don't know. Let's see. That cat looks terrible. Thank you, because it can. Yeah, I was just thinking how terrible this cat is. 3 times dog daring you to draw stick figures. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, actually, that's like that's the other thing. I have been watching videos. I'm glad you brought that up. Stick figures. So I have been watching like figure drawing videos, like tutorials and stuff like that, to kind of prepare myself for figure drawing. And it is kind of all over the place. Like there are like quick drawings, right? So like there are so all right, let me take a step back. So say you did go to a coffee shop or a bar and you're drawing the person at the counter, right? So like you're the creepy guy who's like watching people as they go to the counter to order their food and stuff like that, and you're drawing them and everything like that. So the thing is, they're in motion, right? They're not. It's not like they're pausing so that you can draw them while they're ordering their coffee. You have to capture. I think they call it a gesture. So you have to capture their gesture in like seconds. You know, you have to be that fast, and so it is kind of like a stick figure. You know, like if somebody's standing up at the counter, right? You kind of have to you kind of capture. You know, they're picking up their cup or something like that, and this is their body. You know, like maybe their leg is up on like a little stand or something like that. You have to capture all of that within seconds. You know, and then you have to build from that. Maybe even after they've left, because they're gone, and you're trying to finish your picture, so you're working from memory at that point. So you have to capture enough detail to where you can go off and finish the picture later. So that's what's involved in live figure drawing. It's a whole nother beast of art, you know, like it's 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 almost like a completely different skill set than what you might be applying from you know, working off of reference photos. So this is why it's important actually. Like if you're into drawing, um, you guys still talking about my beautiful cat. It is a beautiful cat. Thank you guys. This is the best cat I've ever done. Like, I'm so proud of this cat, this German cat. It could be a cat, sort of. I don't know. Anyway, and you can see kind of like the more you apply your darker areas, the more realistic it becomes. All of this needs to be kind of rendered in that way, but we'll get to it. You know, time pending and stuff. Anyway, back to the figure art thing. It really is a whole different set of skills because, like, you know, when you're working with from like a reference photo, sizing things up and getting the proportions correct, which I'm not even perfect at, is different looking at a reference picture than it is like if I'm looking at a person, right? And I'm trying to capture them before they move or whatever. Like, I would like to be the type of person who goes to like horse sporting events, like, I don't know, like the Kentucky Derby or something, and capture without taking a photo, even though that's probably a lot more convenient. You just take a picture of like the horses while they're racing and then you come back and draw it later. I would like to be able to draw the horses in motion realistically as they're there, you know. Does the German cat have 9 lives? 9. That that's funny because that's German for no. 9. Uh, oh man, I cracked myself up. That's so funny. I'm replaying that joke in my head right now. um, yeah. Anyway, so like, I would love to be able to draw animals, and animals don't sit for you either. So like, that's kind of my point. So you have to treat humans like animals, I guess, is kind of the takeaway from what I'm saying. Because like, if you're out and about in the real world, it's not like people are just pausing so that you can draw them. You have to be able to capture them quickly. So anyway, I don't know what the format of this live drawing session is going to be, but it could be like that. It could be that the model, you know, strikes a pose or something for like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something, and you have to get your picture done in 10 minutes. Or it could be like less. It could be 5 minutes. I don't really know. I know that some of the poses that people do strike for like figure drawing things, they are uncomfortable. So I can kind of see them maybe maybe only holding that pose for a few minutes before they have to adjust just out of comfort. You want to be respectful of models anyway. Like, you know, you don't want to be like, look, asshole, you can't move from that pose because they got to draw my picture. Nah, you want them to be comfortable. You want them to be able to move around and stuff like that. Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Yeah, the Kentucky 3 day event is a horse show where they're literally jumping over obstacles that are in like a huge field. So it's a cross country event where the horses run and they jump over like logs and tree stumps and stuff like that. That all happens quickly, like obviously. That's the kind of horses in motion I would like to be able to draw. And I can do that from a photo, but I want to be able to like capture the horse in person as well. So like, you know, you see a horse jumping, you know, you want to be able to capture, I don't know, this is just made up or whatever. You want to be able to capture that gesture, and then you can come back and you can apply, you know, you can actually draw from that gesture that you captured. That I think that's the right term. I don't know. I'm still learning, but I think gesture is the right term for like figure drawing, whether it's humans or animals. It's just kind of basically a pose. And yeah. So I'm gonna give that a shot tomorrow. See how it goes. You have to bring your own supplies and stuff like that. So I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm supposed to bring for that. Like, do I bring an easel? Do I just bring like a sketch pad and some, I don't know, bits of charcoal? Fuck if I know. Maybe you bring paints if you're like into like painting. I really don't know. It'd be nice if I could like go to this and not be a draw like an artist and just kind of like hang out and watch other people do it for the first time and then like I don't know, maybe go back the second time. But I don't know how often they do these things. Yeah, new experiences. They're always fun. I love that you guys love my cat picture here. Yeah, well, I did say it was a redemption session where you're trying to improve past pictures. So the improvement on this dog is to turn it into a cat. I'm surprised you guys aren't calling it a squirrel. For some reason, when I did my chipmunk, you guys all thought it was a squirrel. I do like drawing with a blending stump, by the way. So like, you get enough charcoal on it or pastel or something, you can actually draw with it, and it kind of leaves this like really, really soft kind of. I mean, it's not. I guess it's technically a mark on the paper, but not really. All right, so I wanted to. Yeah, go with this. Get some of this. There is some extra color up in this ear. I think it gets a little more redder on this side. So I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's some ASMR stuff. That like, I think I have the my microphone turned down so that like you can't really hear some of the scratching. But if you could, that would be some cool ASMR stuff to like relax to. Just a pencil on the paper like that. All right, so I do like that, but I do think it needs to be a little bit redder up in these ears. These ears capture a lot of blood, like, and then the skin is kind of transparent. So there's like, I don't know, a lot of veins in a dog's ear. I'm not a vet. I'm just, this is from my own observation, but it does seem like the ears are really sensitive because of that. Hey, Lorraine. Yes, a cat had 9 lives, and this German Shepherd has 9, which means no in German. uh, Translation jokes are funny. Yeah, so I don't know. I think this ear looks good enough where I can move on to other parts. And I want to get some brown or orange up in here. Thanks, Lorraine. Yeah, apparently you guys really like this. I'm not completely done with it. There's a little bit more I can get in here. I guess it looks better on camera than it does in person because like I feel like it's a little bit more detail that can go in there. Um, Lorraine was so generous to share with me some pictures of her the cat picture I did for her, the actual cat, not a dog, but the actual cat picture that I did for her. She's got them hung up on her wall. I just love that kind of stuff. So like if I ever send you guys art, if you guys can take a picture of it, like actually put up on the wall or where whatever you do with it. I mean, if you throw it in the trash, I want a picture of the art in the trash. That would be great. That would be awesome, actually. Like if you had the courage to take something that I sent to you that I sweated over and you just threw it in the trash, I want to see a picture of that. That would be awesome. Hey, welcome back, Hater. Let's see. Try to keep track of the chat. So one of the things I've been thinking about doing is actually doing a simulcast on Twitch. So if you guys aren't familiar with that, that's another streaming platform. There's there's YouTube, there's Twitch, and maybe a few others, but those are the big ones for like live streaming. And I was thinking about maybe doing a simulcast where I'm doing the same thing that I'm doing here, except that it's actually going to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And I want to do that, but I think it'd be a little bit challenging because then you'll have like two chats that you'd have to watch, or like not you guys would have to watch, I would have to watch. So like it would be kind of odd. You might be in the YouTube chat and see me commenting to somebody who's in the Twitch chat. It would be kind of weird, but I might give that a shot at some point. I don't know. A lot of the Twitch streamers, they're not like traditional artists, so I'd have to like take a look at that and just see if people if that's a good venue, I guess, for like the kind of streamings that I do. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with this community. You guys are pretty awesome. I don't want to I don't want to go off and meet a bunch of new people and stuff. That sounds very stressful. Just noticed. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, because again, well, he's moved a little bit because like he's kind of in my way, but I've been trying to be respectful of him. But yeah, he's holding me up. That was the idea there. While I was driving, I listened to everything you were saying, Jeremy. I must say you have all the ingredients to host a podcast. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't think I have the voice for a podcast, to be honest. I know that some of you guys might be nice and disagree, but I really don't like my voice. Um, like in my mind, my voice is very nasally and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it might work on a podcast. But the other thing is, I don't really know what I would talk about on a podcast, to be honest. Again, I have very limited interests. Um, I don't know. I don't know what I would talk about on a podcast that people would want to watch or listen or like listen to. Sorry. But then again, whenever I come in to do a live stream, this art stuff, I have no idea what I'm going to say. None of this is scripted. I have no idea what I'm going to say every time I do this. And yet, for some reason, I'm able to fill up 2 hours nonstop of talking. It surprises me. Maybe it's because I don't get out enough. Like, maybe I'm just like I haven't talked enough during the week or something. I feel like the need to just kind of unload whenever you guys are in here. I mean, hey, great sports guys. You guys are so awesome for like putting up with like just listening to me drone on for like 2 hours. But no, I'm not sure what I would do a podcast about. My interests are art and coding, and I've thought about doing, kind of like live stream coding and podcasts on that, but I always find it hard to explain what I'm doing when I'm doing programming. Um, I have been able to do it in the past with like some new kids coming into like I don't know, like level one developers or something like that. I'm pretty good at explaining what they need to do and kind of going over like my process and stuff like that. But unless you're like entry level or something like that, it's difficult for me to kind of explain um, coding process. I've written a few articles on programming and that worked out well, but even there, it's so few just because it's like, I don't know, it's just difficult for me to explain programming type stuff. Because I can't like anyone know what Jeremy's talking about. No. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just rambling on. All right, so as you can see, like the more you add to it, right, those values start getting in there and it starts really kind of developing. So like down here, this is still kind of washed out, right? But hopefully we'll get some of those values in there as well. And some of these areas will start to look like up here where it's like, starting to look more like a photo. Even though that's not the intent. And the intent isn't to make it look like a photo. I'm gonna have to move Geppetto for a moment. Sorry guys. I'm gonna put Geppetto over here. There you go. He's still here. Don't worry. He hasn't gone anywhere. I think he broke his hand. Hold on, let me fix that. There you go. He's still there. I just need this area up here so that I can get some of this ear in. I'm going to kind of quickly get this in just so that, because I don't want to dwell on this ear. I do like the parts of this stream where I'm explaining what I'm doing, because that kind of takes some of the pressure off. Like I don't feel like I have to come up with things to talk about so much when I'm actually literally explaining what I'm doing. I think that's helpful. Like if anybody, so I should point out, like I've mentioned this before on this channel. I am a bit of an introvert. I'm not all that great at things like public speaking. There are times in the past where I've had to because of work or something like that, and it's always a struggle. Like I stress the hell out every single time. Like it's they talk about like stage fright or whatever. I wouldn't even get up on the stage. Like screw that. If I had to get up on, and I have before, like it's so weird. If there was a lot of pressure on me to like actually, you know, deliver a speech or something like that, and people were like really going to be super focused on me, it's very tough. It is very tough. It is something that stresses me out. Uh, that said, sometimes I have to, sometimes I have to give like a speech or I have to talk about what I'm doing or something like that. And I believe that it's important that you do challenge yourself so that you get out of your comfort zone and that you do these things that scare the shit out of you. So that's kind of why I do some of this YouTube stuff. It's to get out of my comfort zone, make myself do things that I wouldn't normally want to do. I don't normally want to talk for 2 hours to complete strangers. Even though you guys have been hanging out with me long enough, I don't really consider you guys strangers anymore. I think that I'd like to think of you guys as friends. Um, but even talking to friends and stuff like that, it's sometimes challenging. So all that social anxiety stuff, I mean, everybody suffers from that, but I do think it's important to kind of like challenge yourself so that you get out of that, so that it's not crippling. There you go. That's kind of what I'm getting at. You're going, I'm not saying everybody, but for myself, it's something that I deal with. I don't think it's that uncommon, to have social anxiety. Like I think that a lot of people suffer from that, but I do think that the way around it is that you challenge yourself, you make yourself do things that you don't feel comfortable doing, so that it's not crippling. Because there's been times when I felt like it was crippling, like oh my god, like you got to go to work and you got to give like a presentation or something, and there's a lot of writing on it and everything, and you just feel like calling in sick or something like that. Hey, Jets for life, appreciate it. Yeah, we're doing a German Shepherd. So the goal tonight is redemption, right? So like I did this just to recap for those who are coming in a little bit later. Um, okay, Larry says, I'm so glad Geppetto didn't end up as a Woody or Chris Pine. That's right. Those were some of the other ones. I forgot. Thanks for reminding me. So the thing we're doing tonight is I like to call these redemption streams. It's where I drew something last year. I forget what month I did it, but I wasn't too happy with it. It just kind of sat around collecting dust because I wasn't too happy with it. And I thought, maybe I can do better. So this is the second one in that series. I did a collie dog a couple of streams back that turned out really nice. I think that we did a good redemption on that one. So this one is a redemption of my German Shepherd, which I wasn't very happy with. Jets for Life says, nice. No need for the recap. You know who this is. LOL. Hi, Tyler. How's it going? How many freaking accounts do you have? Every single time Tyler shows up with a different account. Man, it takes effort to create a new account. Like, how many? Do you just sit there all day, like creating YouTube accounts? Like, I feel like that would take work. That'd be like work. That's effort. Like you can literally be doing anything else with your life. You're creating YouTube accounts like they're like, well, I don't know. I might need 500 YouTube accounts. You never know when you might need another one. You probably have 10. I don't believe you. I think you have like 30 of them. Hey, but like that's so Tyler, most of you guys know Tyler. Tyler went riding on a horse today for the first time. It's probably not the first time, but maybe it is the first time. I'm really interested in Tyler's adventures. He recently moved out to Montana to work on like a ranch, and I just think that's awesome. That sounds like one of those like city slicker type deals where you go out and you work on like a dude ranch, or I don't know what the terms are, but you go out and work on some ranch out west and stuff like that. You guys have seen city slickers. So anyway, that's what Tyler's doing. So like I'm living vicariously through his adventures. The only football podcast channel to 500 subs. Hater says introverts exhibit exceptional cognitive abilities and possess strong leadership qualities, making them stand out as some of the most innovative individuals in society. I'll drink to that. Yeah, I think you can definitely be a high functioning introvert, which is probably what I consider myself. You know, I don't I have I have these problems, and I don't even want to say they're like disabilities because like I feel like most people suffer from something like this, right? Maybe to different extremes, and definitely some people have like way more extreme um, issues with it than I do. I don't want to belittle other people's experiences by talking about my own. Um, but I do think that, and this probably doesn't work for everybody, and I recognize that. But I do think that like you can still function in the world and have these issues. Like and like they come and go. Sometimes sometimes I do feel extroverted. I don't know what the I don't know how it actually works, to be honest, because like sometimes I feel like this crippling anxiety that I shouldn't even feel. It's just sometimes I do, and then other times I'm totally cool. Like I'll give an example actually. Talking about stage fright. Literally, I was on a stage in Vegas. I went to Las Vegas one year, and I went to the Penn and Teller show. And you guys know Penn and Teller, like they're like a magician group. They've been around forever and stuff. But anyway, like if you don't know them, look them up. They're great. I love Penn and Teller. So anyway, I went to a Penn and Teller show, and I was sitting up in the first couple of rows. So I guess like I don't know. I was just sitting in the spot where I caught the guy's attention or something. So Penn came up. I think it's Penn. Whoever the taller one is, I think he's Penn. So he was doing a card trick, and here I am. I'm just trying to enjoy myself in this show. And he comes up to me, sitting in, I think it was the second row, pretty close to the stage. He comes up to me, and he's got this deck of cards, and he fans them out, and he asks me to look at them and confirm that there's no trick to it, right? Like that these are actual cards, like actual playing cards. And it was so awkward because he comes up and he like fans them out, and he says, "Look at these cards, and can you confirm that these are actual playing cards?" Now, me being the analytical person and like the person who likes details and so on, I'm sitting there literally looking at these cards, and I'm like trying to figure them out. Like, are these actual playing cards? Like, what's the trick here, right? And I guess I was doing it too long because you could tell he was getting a little annoyed at how long I was taking. So I finally just said, "Yes, yes, they're normal playing cards." And so he went about his business. So that was in front of a crowd of I don't know how many people there were there, but like let's call it a couple hundred. And then later on in the show, he actually had people from the audience come up on stage for a bit where he made an elephant disappear, which I think is awesome because I still don't know how that worked. That might have been actual true magic because like that freaking elephant just disappeared right there in Vegas on a stage. Like They need to put out like an APB for that that thing because I mean, how do you just disappear and like an entire elephant? I don't know. Anyway, I'm off track here. Point is, um, yeah. So like that sort of stage bit, I was totally fine with. You know, I was totally comfortable on the stage. I didn't feel nervous at all. Like there wasn't this like weird anxiety. I wasn't sweating it. I didn't feel like I was having a heart attack and gonna die or anything like that. Um, it's just weird, you know, like it comes and goes. And I think it's because I like obviously I wasn't under any kind of pressure. It was Penn and Teller's show. It's not my show. Um, so I think that has something to do with it, like the stakes of the matter. I don't know. I think a lot of it's anticipatory too. So like you know, you get nervous about something going into it, but then during it, you're totally fine. So I do, yeah, actually, that is true. All right, so like again, I'm not trying to diminish anybody else's experience. I can see some people in the chat are actually talking about their own experience. Okay, Larry says that he used to stutter. Yeah, I mean, you know, um, these things are common. Like everybody experiences these things. So anyway, I don't want to diminish anybody else's experience. I'm just talking about my own here. But so I think it does help when I'm caught unawares, right? So like if I have to do something, like I have to do that presentation at work tomorrow or something like that, right? I'll stress the crap out of that. In fact, I probably won't get any sleep the night before, and I'll end up like not even wanting to show up to work the next day because I haven't gotten enough sleep, just because I stressed about it so much, right? Um, but then, you know, if you catch me unawares, and you like throw me into this situation where I have to like go up on stage and watch an elephant disappear in front of like hundreds of people. I feel like I'll do that a lot better just because like I don't have to stress it. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to have all that anticipatory anxiety. So I think that that's a pretty important component to it. I don't know how that resonates with other people's experience with like anxiety and social anxiety in particular, but it does kind of it does kind of help just to be like surprised, like surprise, you got to go to like this social function and you have to like you know like be a normal human being, which is always tough. It's just tough being a human being anyway. MJ says that dog looks so real. Thank you, I appreciate that. Hopefully this part looks a little more real. Like I you know still got some more work to do down here. Kid says, yeah, Jeremy, I was the kid trying to throw up in the school bathroom because I had to stand up and give a good, yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Why do they make kids do that kind of stuff? You know, like we're just not cut out for it, some of us. It's okay to be introvert, you know? It just means that, like, I don't know, you think about things more and you stress about things more. And I guess one could argue that, yeah, maybe you do need to, like, develop social skills so that you can kind of function in the world and stuff like that, but it's still like torture. It's basically torture. It's torture to make kids give book reports. That's not talked about enough in this country. People should talk about that more, like how torturous it is to make kids give book reports. All right. Anyway, that's enough about that topic. Like, but yeah, it is kind of interesting. Anyway, that's one of the reasons why I do this YouTube show, just to kind of like bring us back to something I probably said 20 minutes ago. I do this YouTube show just so that I can get over some of these things that we all suffer with. But it does help, like sometimes I can just walk into a crowd of people and stuff and just have a normal conversation like a normal person, even though like normally I don't feel like doing it. I think I'm better at like not avoiding things. So like it actually is like kid would say, like you would go to the bathroom and fake being sick or something just because you wanted to avoid it. I don't feel like I avoid things anymore, which is good. I do think that there is some benefit into facing things that you don't really want to do. Like talk tonight about that thing that I want to do tomorrow, that I don't really want to do, but I kind of want to do tomorrow. I'm just going to go and do it. Just do it, just to say, hey, I did that thing. Yeah. Okay. Larry says the more you try it, the easier it gets. That is the truth. That is the truth. And that's why you do this kind of stuff. Even this art stuff, drawing in public, the more you do it, the less awkward it becomes. My first stream that I did, I think I did all right, but it was super awkward. You know, some of you guys were here. If Richard's still around, he was here. Vertigo was in that one. It really is a little bit awkward, but all right. I think I need to get that tongue in there, even if I don't finish the rest of it, just because like a, a dog's tongue is like super important. Hater says, living in this technologically advanced era, it is common to experience anxiety. That's true. Okay, especially like future anxiety. Our lifestyle is often characterized by insufficient sleep. Yep, that sounds like me. Excessive work. Yep, that's me. And an unhealthy diet. Yeah, I'm basically eating margaritas over here tonight. Yep, that pretty much describes me. But I think I'm doing better. This show is at least partly about self improvement, and I have learned a few things that I can describe to others that you know might help if you find yourself in similar situations. I do think that there's some value in you know starting a YouTube channel and facing those kind of fears, and you know having others hold you accountable. And if you guys weren't here, I'd be more likely to just not show up. Like, yeah, maybe I'll draw a picture and stuff like that in private, but if you guys weren't here, like if I literally came in tonight and nobody showed up, I might hang out with myself for a little bit, maybe draw a smaller picture and stuff like that. But yeah, I would probably bail pretty early. Um, so yeah, do that thing that do that thing that you're afraid of, and then get some other people to hold you accountable so that you don't have it, so that you don't talk yourself out of it. That's an important thing. That's really what it comes down to. You need other people to help you out so that you don't talk yourself out of it. Because like left to my own devices, I would talk myself out of doing these live shows. But I'm not left to my own devices because you guys are here. You guys are helping me to stay accountable to this, and you know, I appreciate that kind of stuff. But yeah, absolutely, I know myself. I know that if somebody wasn't holding me accountable, I would probably just end up, not doing it. So yeah, I do think that I have kind of developed a few tips and tricks for people. I think things that I could probably speak to from experience, maybe. So yeah, so kids out there, if you feel that anxiety, you're not alone. Everybody does, and there are some things that you can do to help yourself out. I think that's the I think that's the takeaway of like whatever I'm saying, which I'm not 100% sure of. Don't stress it, or if you do stress it, learn to manage your stress a little bit better. I think this tongue looks pretty good. I know that it's kind of tough because like the tongue is kind of like the color kind of comes out by the things that are around it, which aren't completely in here yet. So for the most part, this tongue is like white with a little bit of pink accents. So it's tough to see that at this point, but we'll get there. He's like, I just love this part of the drawing. So like at this part, the dog actually has an expression, and he looks pretty happy. Yeah, Shep's a good name. Shep's a good name for a shepherd. But this is what I like about drawing is at some point, and it's hard to predict exactly when. It's such a weird thing drawing. So it really is hard to predict exactly when the the spirit of the animal comes out. I guess that's a way to put it. Or whatever you're drawing, like sometimes I draw people. There's a certain part where you can actually see the person in it, the resemblance. Um, I think we're getting kind of close to that point on this doggo. I can start seeing the dog and not just, some random colors and shapes and so on, which is all part of the process. You got to get those random shapes and colors in there, but at some point it starts actually looking like a dog. And it's always fun when it reaches that point. He looks like a fun dog too. Okay. At this point, you start wanting to name the dog. Shep. Yes. Before it was just the dog. Now it's Shep. You want to? I mean, I guess it's different if you're drawing somebody's actual dog. You can kind of like name them all along, but it really is like getting those values in there, and it's like going back over the same picture several times. Again, it's layers, and there's a certain amount of layers that you really have to get in there before it starts looking realistic. And this can go a lot further. There are some people out there who do really highly photorealistic pictures of dogs and stuff like that. I think this is a close approximation, but it's not that level of it. That kind of stuff takes like several hours. You'd probably be drawing forever. Get that like lower lip in there. Again, like I said, this tongue is mostly defined by the things that are around it. Thanks, Rome. Thanks, okay, Larry. Thanks, MJ. You guys are awesome. Get that lip going down here. And then that lip kind of comes up into this part. This part kind of comes up into this. And all that becomes much darker. It all kind of flows together to create this realistic looking dog. It's so fun to go back and look at my progress because like this wasn't that long ago. I want to say last summer maybe I drew this. I know that I was trying to get a bunch of charcoal pictures of dogs done just so that I had like a collection. And this was drawn for that, but it wasn't one of my favorites. So I kind of remember where that came from. I want to say it was like last summer, somewhere thereabouts. And it's kind of neat to go back and look at um, was it Chef one of the Three Stooges? I think I think there was a fourth Stooge. I don't think there was Larry Curly and Mo. Wait, Mo, Larry, and Curly, and then there was a fourth one. MJ asked if I live in Maine. No, I do not. I live in Kentucky. I've been to Maine. Um, I like Maine. Maine is one of my favorite spots on the earth, actually, up near Acadia. I love it up there. I would love to move up there. But no, I live in Kentucky. I went to Maine a few years back. I was doing some treasure hunting up in Maine. There was a boots on the ground treasure hunt called Fandango. Some of you guys might know it. I participated in that. I went looking for that one. I thought it might be a Thunderhole in Acadia. Jeremy, you do draw a landscape. Maine is beautiful. Oh, do you draw landscape maintenance beautiful? I have some photos when I was in Acadia that I could work from. So yeah, maybe I could do some landscape pictures of Acadia. That would be kind of cool. That's a great suggestion. Thank you. Yeah, it'd be fun to like go back and look at those pictures again. But Acadia is beautiful. If anybody ever gets it, like if you ever go to any national park, that is a beautiful one. It's like basically it's just cliffs hanging over the ocean. It's so beautiful up there in Acadia. I highly recommend it for anybody at all. So you got to kind of vary up the colors a little bit. It's mostly orange, but also there's some browns in there, and you just kind of like, kind of have to switch back and forth. And then there's like some darker, basically blacks. But I do think that it's about time that I switch to this kind of what does it say on here? Burnt sienna. That would have been my guess. You got some burnt sienna up in here. And again, you kind of like blur it out, but also at this layer, you want to kind of leave some of your marks in there so that they do look like pieces of fur. So whereas you were blending out everything on the lower layers, up here, you kind of want to leave some of that pencil sketchiness in there because that looks like fur, right? Yeah, Katie is beautiful, for real. Yeah, Kevin, that's what I was thinking. It was the fourth stooge. Oh, Comrade would be a beautiful dog for a German Shepherd. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that you lost your pet. Yep, losing a pet is the worst, the very worst thing in life. Well, I don't know, probably losing other loved ones and stuff, but it's right up there. It's up there with losing any loved one. There you go. Like the loss of a pet is basically the loss of any loved one at all, and it should be treated as such, to be honest. Like not everybody does. Well, people themselves feel the same as the loss of like a family member or something like that, but other people don't treat it that way. Like if you don't get bereavement time from work, you should. Like I don't know, maybe some companies do, but you don't typically get bereavement time off of work for the loss of a pet. But you should. You really should. Like if I was a boss, if I was your boss, I would give you time off if you lost your pet. Because like you're not being productive anyway. You're distracted and all that stuff, and you're grieving. You should get time off for losing a pet. There's some things that would change if I was in charge. That'd be number one. Well, that wouldn't be number one. There's a lot of things that would change if I was in charge. That'd be up there because I do think that it's important. That people treat. Dogs aren't people. Like that's true. You shouldn't think of them as people, but from the emotional side, that stuff is all the same. You Dogs aren't people because they never really grow out of being a kid. There's like a max mental age to a dog. I think I don't really know, but I heard it was something like 5 years old. Like a dog's brain is basically the same as a 5-year-old human's. So there is an upper limit there on their intellectual capability, I guess. Certainly with my dogs are kind of dumb, but also, yeah, they're basically like they're family members. They should be treated as such. I wish it's gotten better. I should say that. There you go. Like, uh, I wish I could bring my dogs more places. Like, I would love to be able to take my dogs all over the place. Like, basically treat them like they're people and not have to leave them in the car because, like, they're people. They can come in the store and stuff like that. I feel like that's changed a lot over the years, to be honest, or at least around here. Like, it is not abnormal to bring your dog to like a bar. Like that wasn't always the case. You couldn't bring your dog to places like that before. And now, with service animals being a thing, people are bringing their dogs to like supermarkets and stuff like that. So I do feel like some of this stuff is changing over time, which is kind of cool. Like it's nice to be able to like take your dog for a walk and then also stop in at like the pub and bring your dog in with you. And then, they're dog friendly, so they have like water uh, bowls and stuff like that out, during summer and stuff. That's kind of cool. So see how I was saying like the tongue is mostly defined by the things around it. It's like a black hole, right? You never actually see a black hole. You see how it bends the light around it. And that's the same with this. I mean, it's not the same, but for some reason that's the analogy I'm going with. It's a black hole. Um, Mostly this tongue is like slightly pink. It's got some mostly white. It's got some pink edges to it, but you really only see it because of the fur around it. So as far as comparisons go, I think my redemption thing is really working out. This is objectively better than that. And I don't think it's just because of the color. I think it's because like, I don't know, the layout is stronger, the composition is stronger. Um, the color definitely helps, but I don't think that's the only thing that's really making this better. I think it's a number of things working together. I'm going to kind of quickly go through getting some of these fur pieces down here just to kind of like develop this area a little bit so that, it's not just white and that you kind of have a dog going into this because we are coming kind of close to the 2 hour mark and I try to keep it like around 2 hours for you guys so that you don't feel like you're missing out on anything if it goes over. But we're getting pretty close. There's a YouTube channel called Sitting with Dogs. Somebody need help. Huh. What did they do on the oh, it's like a puppy placement type deal. That sounds cool. Honestly, in another life, that's what I'd be doing. Like I'd be working for like a rescue shelter. That would be kind of cool. Like I just love animals. I love my own pets. I love everybody else's pets. I'm just a big, you see a dog, like you're not really supposed to just approach a dog that like this dog looks so friendly, right? You would want to just come up like if this dog was walking in the park, you would just want to come up and be like, "Hey, puppy," and give it a big old hug. You probably shouldn't do that, but that's what I would want to do. Because like German shepherds, I mean, like they could they could do some damage. They're friendly for the most part, but also they are like raised to be police dogs sometimes. So it really depends. They are both super friendly and also protective. You never really know what you're dealing with. So all this down here, I think is going to need some more work, but it's not something you guys have to sit through. It's something I can do on the side. So as far as like the fur goes, I'm just kind of like I'm putting in fur, but I'm gonna end up blending it out, same as I did up here, to where you get that kind of like base coat. So I know I'm kind of sketching it and like hashing it in as if I'm putting in fur and stuff, but I'm going to blend most of that out anyway, and then come back over it with some hashing that actually would represent some some actual fur. And then basically he's got this like fluffy coat. Well, you can kind of see it over here on German Shepherds. They got underneath the chin, they've got this like fluffy coat, almost like a mane. And then there are some areas back here where kind of becomes black. Again, a lot like up here. This is not meant to be super detailed yet. It's just getting some color in there, some shapes and so on that we'll build upon later. Probably off camera because, you know, we are at the getting close to the 2 hour mark. This is a damn good margarita, by the way. You guys don't even know. I wish there was a way to convey to you guys how good food is and drinks and stuff are. Then we'd have like a real party. You know, I would love for all of us to be in the same town where we could actually have like a big old drawing party. I think that would be awesome. Like you see some of these things that people are doing nowadays where they have like a paint party. I would love to have a paint slash drawing party with you guys where, you know, we get some drinks and stuff together and we just hang out and draw pictures. That would be fun. That seems to be something the kids are doing these days, having paint parties. By kids, I mean adults, you know, usually older people. So this is all like kind of very loose and abstract at this point, which is fine. I just want, at this point, I just want enough of a picture there so that, you know, it makes a good thumbnail, and then I'll come back and add like whatever details and stuff like that. It's the same thing like when I did the collie picture. The goal is to do better than the original. It doesn't have to be completely perfect or finished or any of that stuff. It's not like this is being submitted for any awards. The whole goal is to surpass myself. And this is what I think a lot of people don't get. Um, MJ asks, is it flavored? If you're asking about the margarita, absolutely. This is a lime margarita. It's so good. I'm probably gonna make one more of those. It's oh, for those of you who showed up late, it is National Margarita Day. That's why I'm having a margarita. It's so good. But you know, you can probably get like, you don't have to be a drinker to enjoy a margarita. You can get like a non-alcoholic margarita too. I don't know why you would, but you could if that was your thing. I love this smile. Look at this. It's such a happy dog. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So the whole point with this redemption series is to be better than myself, right? And I don't think a lot of people focus on that. Um, so I do have some tips and tricks for artists, right? And here's an important one. So like I want you guys to pay attention, especially kids, right? Because kids are so full of anxiety these days. Kids, you're not in competition with others, okay? You're not competing against other artists. You're not competing against me. You're not competing against your friends. You're not competing against, you know, so and so in your art class who just draws the best dog pictures in the world. You're not competing with anybody. The only person you're competing with is yourself, all right? And I want to stress that. It's so important because it is yourself. Art comes in so many different flavors, in so many different styles. And you can't compare yourself to other artists. All you can do is compare yourself to who you are before or who you might be later. So that's what I'm doing right now is I'm comparing myself to who I was before when I created this imperfect mess. And then also I'm looking at this as like, how can I improve this so that what I do in the future is even better? That's all there is to it. That's really what it's about. You're not in competition with others. You're in competition with yourself. And if you And even if that isn't true, that's how you should look at it. That really is how you should look at it, because it's so much better for your own for your peace of mind. It's going to create better work, and so on. So Larry says he's got to take off. Bye, Larry. I'm almost done anyway for the night. We're probably going to wrap this up in the next couple of minutes. But yeah, I just wanted to stress that real quick because I do think it's so important, and it's definitely on topic with this redemption stuff that I'm working on here, where I'm trying to like, surpass what I've done in the past. There's a reason for that, and the reason is because I'm literally in competition with myself, and I want to get better than what previous Jeremy was, in an effort to make next Jeremy, which is like further down the road, even better. There you go. Like honestly, if I had created this at the time that I was creating this, I would have been like, oh my god, I'm making the best art, But I wasn't, because that's not how the world works. The way the world works is you have to practice and you have to just like keep at it and so on. And then one day you wake up and you're like just better. Wow, 15 years old. My poor dogs are starting to get the white hairs and stuff, like especially Guinness. Guinness's like chest is all white. It's sad, and so much white in his face. He used to be all black. Like if you turn the lights out, you wouldn't see him. Poor doggy. He still acts like a puppy though. Well, he acts like a puppy most times. Sometimes he acts like an old man. Because I can't say just don't let yourself beat yourself. Yeah, I mean, you are competing against yourself, but don't let yourself beat yourself. I like it. All right. So I do think we're probably good enough for us to end the stream this tonight. Like I there is some more work I have to do to this. Clearly, like he's missing half of his like jaw area, or chest area. Sorry, this is more chest area down here. But yeah, there's some more work to do on this, but I think it's good enough for us to call it an evening, especially since we're approaching the 2 hour mark. And I really, really do want to kind of keep it in that realm, just out of respect for people, and so that people know what to expect when they watch these things too. Like, I don't want people to think like, oh, this is gonna be a 3 hour one, or this one's gonna be like a 5 hour one, or something like that. If it takes 5 hours to do something, I'll break it up into multiple streams or something like that. Non-alcoholic margaritas ought to be prohibited. That's how I feel about like decaf coffee too. Non-alcoholic beer, non-alcoholic margaritas. It's just like, what's the point? Same thing with the decaf coffee. It's like, if it's not caffeinated, then just don't drink it. Like, I don't know. I guess if you like the flavor of coffee or something, but you don't want the caffeine, I guess that makes sense. But also, like, that's so strange to me. But I'm not going to judge others. I try not to judge others. I mean, I secretly judge everybody. That's just me. Like, everybody does that. But I try not to, like, actually hold things against them. There you go. That's actually insightful, Jeremy. It's okay to judge others, but don't hold it against them. There you go. Because that's how I actually feel about it. Like, I judge people all the time. I just don't hold it against them. Like, it doesn't bother me that people are the way they are. I have to judge people so that I know who I want to be, right? So, like, I can look at somebody else and be like, well, I don't want to be that. Or I can look at somebody else and be like, oh, I kind of like that. I want some of that, right? So it's okay to judge people. I just don't hold things against them. I like that. I'm going to write that down because that's pretty insightful. Anyway, that has nothing to do with my dog picture, but thanks, kid. Don't think I need a third try on it. That's actually a great compliment. That's right on the money. Don't need a third try. Sometimes I do, but I like this guy. He looks pretty happy. All right, so I do think I'm going to wrap this up. Let's see if I missed any comments. Jeremy, you approved 100%. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and like, I still make mistakes. Some of my pictures still don't come out perfect, but I do think there's a general improvement there. Like, they're not all perfect. Like, this is not a perfect dog picture, but I do think it's better than what I've done before. And who knows what the third version of this might be, but, hopefully there's some incremental progress there. I like the idea of incremental progress. Like, as long as today's a little bit better than yesterday, or, tomorrow's a little bit better than today, I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Heidi says, I'm late to the show, but just wanted to say your upgraded K9 looks great. Thank you. I appreciate that. MJ says, thanks, Jeremy. Enjoyed your show. Tyler's back with yet another account name and says, I'm doing my eardrops. Okay. Enjoy your eardrops. MJ says, good night, all, and sweet dreams. So, yeah, we're going to wrap this up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Again, the idea was that we would take a picture that I've done before that I wasn't too happy with. Again, some of the issues here is the composition's not all that great. It's like, why is it even cut off here? It's so weird. I don't know what I was going for. A composition like this full-bodied dog, minus the feet for some reason, would look probably kind of cool if like maybe somebody was standing next to him. But like this, it's just terrible. I think focusing on the face and introducing some color, a lot more improvement. So I've got some more work to render this. I'll probably do that overnight, maybe in the morning or something like that. But I'll post this up on the community channel when it's all done. Let's see, let me go to the... There you go. Anyway, I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Thursday night. I know that I switched things up on you guys, but hopefully this Thursday thing works out for you guys. I know it probably works out a little bit better for me, so I'm going to continue doing it. I have thought about maybe doing an earlier in the day show, like maybe, I don't know, like yesterday I did a drawing on a Wednesday. That could have been a live stream. So maybe I might introduce some daytime, like earlier in the day things periodically, but we'll play it by ear. The ones that you guys should rely on are the Tuesday streams and the Thursday now streams at the normal time and everything, because those are the ones I committed to. And I'm going to just try to keep that going. But in the meantime, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. You guys are always the best. And, I know that I shouldn't feel entitled to an audience. So I am deeply appreciative of you guys showing up. Anyway, I'm going to go back to drinking my margarita. I'll see you guys. Kevin says, I like Thursday Lives. There you go. Kevin says he likes Thursday Lives. Kid says she likes Thursday Lives. Thursday Lives are the best. All right. See you guys. Have a good one. Bye.